Ever feel that awkward punch when you're the only one left at a party, clutching a flat soda, staring at scattered snack wrappers, realizing your friends all paired off and bounced without a goodbye? That's the gut twist so many guys carry around in their daily lives with their partners, left behind, even when she's right there on the couch beside you. Right now, I'm handing over the exact phrases that can turn this whole setup upside down in a flash. But listen close. These lines pack such a punch to her sense of self that plenty of folks will chicken out and never drop them. And that's the trap that keeps you spinning in the same unhappy circle for good. I've watched this play out over and over. A guy steps into a partnership feeling solid, buzzing with his own vibe, totally independent. 6 months in, and he's checking in just to hang with his buddies. 1 year down the line, he's saying sorry for making too much noise with his steps. 2 years pass. He can't even picture the dude he used to be without her influence. She's rewired him top to bottom. And the twisted kicker? He calls this setup love. He buys into the idea that tiptoeing around her moods, chasing her okay every minute, letting her call all the shots, that's just how couples roll. But let me lay it straight. What's actually going down is this. Each time she probes your limits and you cave, each time she nudges and you fold, each time she hints at bailing and you plead, you're not holding things together. You're tearing them apart. You are chipping away at what draws her to you, one soft comeback at a time. Because way down in her core instincts, past all the trendy talks on equality or today's dating tips, she craves a guy who's got more grit than she does. And each time you show you don't, a chunk of that spark fades out. This idea of her wearing that invisible top spot, it's not some fancy figure of speech. You spot it plain as day in her stride, her tone when she chats with you, the way her eyes slide right past you, like your background noise. Like you're just a handy piece of the setup that coughs up cash and compliments now and then. And as that top dog vibe swells in her, you start shrinking bit by bit, until you're basically just staff in her world, and she can't stand the sight of how far you've let yourself slide. You've likely caught wind of this so-called puzzle, with her checks on you. Ladies check guys out to gauge their toughness, but all that poking around ends up draining the fight out of most fellas after a while. It's steady wear down. Every check chips off a sliver of your spine until you're left as an empty frame mumbling, sure thing to whatever comes up. And get this, she resents you for turning out that way. She resents your softness, even though her checks carved it out of you. She resents your slips, even though she rigged the whole thing for you to trip. She resents the version of you that's emerged, even though she shaped every step of it. Picture waiting in that endless government office queue for 3 hours straight. You wind up shrugging like discomfort's baked into the deal. That's spot on for how things go in partnerships. Dudes get numb to the non-stop probes, the steering, the chaos, and figure it's standard issue. They figure every couple deals with it. They glance at other pairs and guess every household's got the same behind-the-scenes grind. Nope. Total miss. Win. A few guys cracked the pattern. A few guys picked up the lines that slam the brakes on it hard. So, let's dive into the tools. The opening line that guts herself view, and stay sharp 'cause this one lands heavy, is pointing out she's plain, vanilla. Not with spite, not fired up, but cool and straight up. Like, back when we clicked, I figured you stood out, one of a kind. Turns out you're straight out of the same mold as the rest I've crossed paths with. Same doubts, same moves, same fuss. You're clockwork regular. What guts her about this is that deep inside, Every lady sees herself as the outlier. She's not your average gal. She's one off. She's stand out. She's the game changer who's gonna shake up your world. When you drop it casual that she's just another player running the usual lines, pulling from the shared handbook all the others flip through, it cracks something core in how she sees herself. I recall this spot right by a diner. Pair in a heated back and forth. She's railing on about him missing her one-of-a-kind side, how he overlooks her standout qualities. And he, steady as steady gets, just goes, "Stand out? You're hitting the exact same notes my last one did. Beat for beat. Feels like you've all got the identical guide." She froze up. "Then sworn, litsatori. Not, hush. Bosene yanat, siaroid, saatrin sorne." Like her mind hit a glitch and couldn't reboot. 'Cause for the first jump, somebody flashed her the real view. She wasn't leading lady in her blockbuster. She was side filler in everybody else's flick. And stick with me here. What if one simple shift could make her rethink every move she's made? Coming up, the next tool that flips the script even harder. The follow-up tool, and man, this might hit stronger, is acting totally unbothered if she heads for the exit. She hints at splitting. You swing the door wide. She claims she wants breathing room. You go grab as much as you like. I've got stuff lined up regardless. She drops that her old flame's hitting her up. You reply, "Cool. Sounds like you two might patch it up." Every warning shot she fires rests on this one bet. You're petrified she'll vanish. The second you flash, not only okay with it, but kinda leaning that way, her whole world view topples. It's as if she's been betting big on a killer hand, and you reveal you weren't even at the table. This went down with the fella facing the old let's date around ploy. You know the drill, yeah? Usually, it's her baiting you to scrap for her, to flash your loyalty, to grovel for a do-over. But he flipped it. Solid plan, actually. Truth is, I've had my eye on somebody to hit up. Appreciate you clearing the path. Her expression? Gold. Aye. She tripped over her words, backpedaling fast, spilling how she didn't mean a word, how it was just a check to see if you gave a darn. The third move that knocks her top spot loose, her view of her own appeal in the bedroom. Every lady figures her draw there is her big edge. It's her go-to card, her big swing, the piece that locks her in as your only option. When you toss out, light and offhand, that in that zone she's nothing standout. Just middle of the pack, maybe dipping lower. The mental hit is massive to her self-boost. You don't sling it rough. You don't aim to wound. You lay it as plain fact. Truth is, the intimate side of us has always sat at average. I've clicked way deeper with others. No sweat though. Nobody nails every zone at top level. Then you roll on with whatever's next, like you just noted if it's gonna sprinkle later. Pay attention to her shift. She won't fire back right off. She'll hush up, chewing on the blow, 'cause you just grabbed her top play and called it a starter prop. You just yanked what she banked as her power piece, and showed it's barely entry level. And unlike jabs she can brush off or spin, this one lodges deep, 'cause at heart, every lady worries she might really clock in standard there. But here's where tons of guys trip up. They peg these as strikes. Wrong. Oh, yes. They're counters. They're fixes for a partnership rotten with steering. You skip fixes when you're solid. You hold off these tools when vibes are smooth. You pull them when she's been swinging her own clubs at you, when she's leaned on steering, warnings, mind games to run the show. And here's a twist. Nobody spells out the matchup trap. Ladies are always sizing their setup against others. They spot their pal's guy dropping big bucks on trinkets, and boom, you're slacking on romance. They catch some duo online looking all thrilling, and suddenly your routine stalls fill. But what floors them is when you turn the sizing around. Like Jenna's, Bo never gripes about bro hangs. Mike's girl doesn't bail talk when things don't go her route. Guess I went with the off-pick. See how fast she drops the sizing when it points away from her. But hold on. Imagine a line so spot on it rewires her whole thinking. The next one's a game changer you won't see coming. Let me walk you through what I call the yes way approach. 'Cause this one shorts out her circuits total. She tosses a line meant to sting, to get you riled, and on the rope. Say, guess I'll hunt for a guy who actually values me. The soft guys come back. Nah, hun, I do value you. Stick around, please. The tough guys play, spot on, you rate a setup that lights you up, and plain as day, that's not our deal. Want a hand loading up. She claims you're no true guy. Not alone. You know say. Fair, cold, eerie. A true guy wouldn't stomach this routine. Good flag up. She gripes the fire's fizzled. Same here. Let's cut it short before we burn more clock. Nalnasiri, eno, tal, taitu. This yes way works, 'cause her shots aren't straight talk most times. They're probes dressed as flat fact. When you roll with it instead of blocking, you smash the probe's base. It's like she swings wild, banking on pushback. But you glide out of frame, and she tumbles straight into her own swing. You might have seen that clip that blew up online. Gal tearing into her dude out in the open, calling him lame, spineless, not the package she signed for. And he no scrap, just dips his head and goes, dead right, I'm lame for sticking through this. That wraps now. Then, he straight up bounced, parked her solo smack in the shopping center. The replies? Split, gals claiming he bailed wrong on her, but dudes cheering it as the cleanest handle they'd clock. Here's another ego buster for her, flashing that you're better off solo. When she bolts figuring you'll crumble, but you level up instead. No tailing her. One. No ringing non-stop. More soul. No blasting walls of text on missing her bad. You just roll forward. And not plain rolling. You amp it. You're diving back into those kid stuff moves she knocked. Hitting up those pals she labeled sketchy. Chasing those side gigs she dubbed pointless. She banged her dip out as your timeout. It turns into your breather. She pegged herself as your center pull. Turns out she was just shade dimming your glow. This sparks what experts tag a deep rethink. Her whole value hinged on being key to your joy. And you just flashed. She was actually holding it back. Like you've probably picked up. This loop's so on the nose, it's near textbook. Gallstones of big betting you'll trail. Guy holds steady. Starts sharing snaps of real deal good times. Gal pops up with a crisis needing his fix. Guy ghosts the ping. Gal swings by his spot for essentials she doesn't miss. Guy's courteous, but cool. Gal flips to we gotta chat every time, right on cue. And get this, what if grasping how her mind ticks flips the whole board for you? Up next, the real why behind it all, and how to sidestep every trap. You know what clicks when you really get the female mindset? You see they're running a routine they don't even clock as a game. It's not plotted out. It's gut level. Like how a robin weaves twigs, or a bug threads silk. They spin these layered feeling snares not 'cause they're mean, but 'cause it's wired in. And same as you wouldn't snap at a stinger for its jab. That's its gig. you skip snapping at ladies for probing. That's their gig. But here's the gap, unlike the stinger ladies, actually root for you to dodge the jab. They want you sharp enough, tough enough, tuned in enough to skip the tumble. Every probe's a hidden ask. Be solid enough so I can ease off. Every steer job's a quiet hope. Spot this so I can finally look up to you. There was this brain scan project up in Sweden tracking pairs mid-spat. They clocked that when guys held steady cool amid her flare-ups, her tension chemicals dropped quicker than if guys jumped in to soothe. Chew on that. Her wiring chills out when you skip feeding her storm. Her setup's whispering at last. A guy who stays put. You know the top spot in any duo. It's not who digs deeper or shallower. It's who leans less. When you truly skip needing her thumbs up, her nod, her spot to feel whole, that's your lock-in. 'Cause every other fella she's linked with pulled something from her. You're the fresh face who pulls zilch. I've clocked this pattern where guys bank on spilling their soft spots to bond tighter with their gal. They tear up over rough patches, unpack worries, lay out weak links, and what rolls. She dips interest quicker than you can blink. Not 'cause ladies are cold-hearted, but 'cause you just flashed the guard needs guarding. The steady base she craved to rest on's really loose grains. This hit a buddy who chose to unpack his low spells with his girl. 2 weeks flat, she was pinging her past guy. 1 month out, she was history. Down the line she spilled to a shared pal. Couldn't frame him as guy material post that. Tough. Pill. Yup. Yo. Great facts. Also, yup. Ladies, skipped the shrink roll. They want to link with somebody locked in enough that they can crack when it's their turn. And here's the magic. What rolls when you nail staying even keel on feelings? She flips to chasing your nod. She hustles to snag your okay. She digs in effort unseen in ages. Why? 'Cause first time around she's not locked on you. First time, she's got skin in the game. First time you're the win, not the default. There's this play, I tag the echo move. Whatever vibe she sends, you send it back clean. She's frosty and far. You go frostier, farther. She's rude. You brush past. She hints at dipping. You're checked out in spirit already. It's not small-time payback or tricks. It's flashing you'll sync to her tune. And if she picks dumb tunes, she scores dumb wins. Like you've likely spotted, ladies got this knack for tweaking the past record. Overnight, every solid you dropped for her. Oof, never was. All give-ins, the bends, the times you slotted her first, wiped clean. But that one no you stuck. Edged eternal. No. That's why battling your track record's a dud. She's not in fact land. She's in feel land. And in her feels, you're forever the bad guy. She's forever the wronged one. The true boss play though. It's not faking joy solo. It's owning joy solo. 'Cause when you straight up don't lean on her, when you flat out rate your days, minus her fuss, minus her ploys, minus her round-the-clock checks, that's the flip point. That's when her top spot doesn't just slip. It vanishes clean. Oh. But here's the unspill most skip. These tools aren't tools for harm. They're straight talk. You're not fibbing when you flag her as swap out. She is. Earth's got billions of ladies ticking. You're not staging when you skip dreading the drop. Why dread shedding what drags your days down? You're not acting when you're brighter solo. You plain are minus the non-stop clashes and steers. The snag is, most guys got looped by mushy flicks and sappy tracks into pegging pain as love. They buy that, if it skips the sting, it's fake. They tag envy as fire, steering as nurture, ploys as stake in. They got drilled to see a duo as grind work, non-stop give up, bottomless bend. But straight up, a duo with the right fit rolls smooth. It clicks easy. It piles onto your world, not peels from it. And wait till you hear this. What if one discovery could spark your boldest move yet? The story ahead shows exactly how. You know what unfolds when a dude uncovers his wife's been trash-talking him to her crew for years, labeling him soft, dull, claiming she'd snag better. Most guys call it out and catch the spin. You're overreacting, it was just chat. But one fella flipped, fair. You rate better and I sure do. Let's both level up. Dropped papers next day. She burned the next 6 months chasing him back, flipping to dream partner mode she never clocked when he was in reach. That's the beat. They prize what's slipping. They honor what's self-standing. They chase what's outbound. It's not schemed steering. It's raw. It's body wired. It's old school survival. Same as why a kitty ghosts, a still toy, but flips for one tugged back. Liz, yes way, stretches past, mouth replies. When she stirs mess, you skip the mess dive. You yes, it's overload and step clear. When she runs ploys, you skip the counter ploy. You, yes, ploys, are kid stuff and scout grown-up fits. When she holds back warmth, you skip the plea. You, yes, the duo lacks closeness and hunt it out, or skip it flat. You gotta clock this base truth, B. Ladies are always mapping edges. Your cutoffs. What slides by? How much wheel can they grab? It's not plotted half the time. It's flow seeking settle. And sans edges, sans cutoffs, with full wheel handover, the flow swamps all and wrecks shop. Every guy banks his spots one off. You miss it. She's not standard. Our duo's tangled. We've got backstory, man. Your spot's not one off. Your lady's not standout. Your duo's not tangled. You're just one more guy ground down by the same old plays, clocked for ages. The split's just if you snap to it or snooze on. Wanna clock something fresh? The lines ladies dread from guys are the ones they flat out crave. 'Cause a lady with free run self-boost, with top spots so huge it blinds her, with wheel so total she's got zilch left to claim. That lady's sunk low. She's restless. She's hollowed. She's puzzling why she feels blank with all she chased stacked up. When you bump that top spot, when you nix the ploys, when you rise and grab your grit back, you're not just pulling yourself clear. You're pulling her clear too. From her own trap, from the beast unchecked wheel breeds, from the drag of linking with a guy she can't back. But most guys won't step up. They'll catch this talk. They'll bob head. They'll back every word I drop. Then they'll slide right to you, bet and tiptoe grind and fade a tad more daily, 'cause it's low lift, 'cause it's known turf, 'cause they dread clash more than self-law. You know what ticks when guys got ground so low, they blank on self-worth feel. They sorry up ahead of time. They flub probes, sans clocking 'em as probes. They tag steering as every day. They spin 1,000 outs. Don't wanna bruise her pal. She skips your feels. Don't wanna drop her. Dropped already. Don't wanna solo. Solo now. Sigh. Just solo with company in the space. Truth is, dropping these lines, rolling these plays, rising for you. It's not Mean Street. It's not a sat mode. It's raw deal. It's straight shot. It's at last airing fact, in a duo stacked on fibs and steers. When you flag her as not stand out, you're airing fact, she ain't. When you flash no dread on her drop, you're straight, white dread pain bringer. When your brighter sends her, you're owning fact. Of course, brighter sun, clash fest. These dread lines for ladies, not smash tools. Built tools, stack stones for either rebuilding your now duo on respect base or stacking fresh days, sounds who don't rate you. You're cool. Keep your life, keep tiptoe, keep squeezing small under her swelling top spot, or drop the dread lines she needs under the fear. Flash the cool she spooks from but quiet once. Turn the guy her probes chase, not the kid who flubs each. And here's a kicker to chew. What if her deepest spook ain't your dip, but your stick with no lean? Wrapping soon, the final push to own your spot. I'll cap with this nugget. Every lady's core spook ain't your bowl. It's your plant with no need. Your body there, but spirit gone. Your gaze her way with zilch ping. No ire. No pull, no push, just blank. 'Cause that's her cue, wheels dust. That's when top spot don't slip. It blanks out. The big switch sits ready. Hit it, and next on you're the guy who airs. Must say her vibe be dashed. Or skip it and clock out days. A side prop in her solo gig. Blanking you headlined your own run. Recall, she don't spook on your loss. She spooks you skipping loss spook. She don't spook your bowl. She spooks your plant sans care. She don't spook your ire. She spooks your cool. And she don't spook your lines. She spooks your fat. Drop these lines smart. Drop 'em light. How? But when hour hits, when steer overloads, when top spot balloons, when your worth's gasping, drop 'em clean. No pause, no sorry, no soft. 'Cause the lone worse than guy dropping dread lines is guy too spooked to drop 'em. And one last spark, picture hitting that switch tonight. What fresh day rolls tomorrow if you own every word from here on. Your move seals it.